Hello Pistons fans, David Mayo from MLive, wrapping up our first week's look at point guards who might be available to the Pistons and in whom they might have interest in the NBA draft. It's just happenstance that we start this 5-week look at point guard, but probably appropriate given that the Pistons will be replacing one and possibly two players at the position next year. Reggie Jackson, the starter, who signed a 5-year max deal last year, is the only player under contract, guaranteed contract, for 2016-17. Steve Blake is an unrestricted free agent, almost certainly gone. And Spencer Dinwiddie and Lorenzo Brown both are on $1 million non-guaranteed contracts for 2016-17. Not out of the realm of possibility that one of those is the third point guard next year. Bear in mind the Pistons are not exactly enamored of having a first-round salary slot for another young player on a young team. So if they did spend big in free agency, did not draft a point guard or traded the draft pick, for example, and were looking for a budget player for that third point guard spot and felt comfortable with it being Dinwiddie or Lorenzo Brown, then some possibility that one of those players still could be here. Still, I'm sure that the preference is to get at least one major backup, your veteran backup in free agency this year, and a third point guard as well to supplant Dinwiddie and Brown either by free agency or the draft. If they happen to use the draft pick, one of their draft picks for that method, certainly at number 18 overall, they would have to be interested in Wade Baldwin from Vanderbilt, a rangy guy who can shoot it. They'd have to be interested in Demetrius Jackson, the guy from Notre Dame, who solid playmaker, scorer, and maybe Tyler Ulis from Kentucky, if they were inclined to go with a smaller point guard, about a 5'10" guy. That's not been Stan Van Gundy's way. He's made 3 draft picks in 2 summers as Pistons president of basketball operations, and 2 of those picks have been rangy guards, Spencer Dinwiddie and Darren Hilliard. He likes guards with length on the perimeter. You'd have to think Baldwin, then with that 7-foot wingspan, Wade Baldwin, with the ability to shoot that he has and that defensive length on the perimeter would be really appealing to the Pistons if they do keep the draft pick. If it gets to the second round, certainly guys like Kay Felder, like Malik Newman, like Gary Payton II come into play at number 49 overall for the Pistons. At that stage, the question becomes, if they did not pick a point guard in the first round, to Spencer Dinwiddie and Lorenzo Brown's benefit, the question not only becomes, can the second point guard step in and be the second round draft pick point guard, step in and be third point guard next year, but also, is he better immediately, really, than either Dinwiddie or Brown is? And if the answer to that is no, good possibility the Pistons don't pick a point guard at all. However, if you're handicapping the roster, if they keep both 18 and 49, it would almost be a surprise if the Pistons don't draft a point guard at some point on June 23rd. We'll be back next week to look at shooting guards.